My name is Laura Ferri, and welcome to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm talking everything personal growth, lifestyle, and business. Thank you so much for listening or watching this podcast. I'm really glad that you're here. Today, I have my new friend Jessica, who actually we just met, and we're going to talk about dating with kids in your 40s. So, welcome, Jessica. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, thanks, Laura. This is an interesting experience for me to say the least. I feel like I've been bottling this up since I was 30.
Mhm. Okay.
So it's it'll be a fun conversation. Really, I'm just a single mom. I have three kids. Age ranges 24, 17, and 11. So there's
Okay. Pretty similar. I've got three also. Mine are 18, 16, and 9. So,
you know
yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
What we're going
Yeah.
through. Okay, cool. Yeah, so just I work as a property manager, and it's a tough job because you kind of feel like you are a parent at work and also at home. Like
I can see
where do you
that.
get that time to just be yourself?
Right.
You know,
Right.
dating is not one of those times to be yourself. I've just noticed that, not in the beginning.
No? Okay. All right. So interesting. All right. So let me ask you a couple questions. How long were you married before? Divorced?
No, so I've
Okay.
never been married.
Okay. But there was a relationship obviously that ended.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to call it immaculate conception, but it was not.
Okay.
So it ended.
Okay. And so diving into the dating world, how long has it been since you've been on this dating journey?
No. It's been okay. It's been 6 years single,
Okay.
and the last 2 years just trying to meet people. I don't know.
Okay.
Just trying to I miss companionship. I think that's what I
Mm-hmm.
miss the most. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty similar timeline. I've been on my own about 5 years. I did have one relationship in there that I thought was going to break me, quite honestly, and almost did. But um, it kind of brought me to where I am. So it's kind of funny dating. So I got divorced. My divorce was official like 3 weeks before COVID hit. So I was like ready. I had just started going out by myself because I didn't have any single girlfriends and kind of, dipping my toe in the water and then bam, everything was shut down. So dating prior to COVID and then after COVID has been kind of an interesting experience. Would you agree?
Yes, I would
Okay.
absolutely agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's tough.
So, so all right, so let's talk about apps. Do you use the dating apps or have you used dating apps?
Oh boy. Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know how to explain it. I kind of uh okay. Do networking events count?
Sure, why not? I mean, at this point, that's the only way I'm going to meet someone, I'm pretty sure, is
Yeah.
by going to like a business networking event or something like that, because I'm busy doing all the things. And when I have my kids, I'm focused on them. And so it's kind of interesting. But um, in your experience with the dating apps, like what is your, say, level of experience? Have you used them a lot? Have you not used them?
Okay, so I haven't used them a lot.
Okay.
There's one app that I have used. I won't go into, not in this podcast.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, the experience I've had with using an app is just I would like to call it lame. It's just
Okay.
and
Good.
yeah, if you're not deeper than a puddle, I have a hard time connecting.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So, um, I think I've used them off and on. I'm one that will set it up for like 24 hours and I'm like, okay, this is it. And then I'm like, fuck this. I can't answer the same fucking question 40 times in the next 24 hours. And it's kind of interesting. I am on one right now, go figure, but I'm not even paying attention to it, which is so weird. But Laura dating 5 years ago is much different than Laura dating now. Whereas I put a lot of value on that previously, in previous times. And now I'm just kind of like, it'll happen if it happens. And being super picky and niche about the audience that I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
So how do you go about dating now in this world?
Well, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. It is a little different. You feel picky, and I think I've done so much work on myself that it's really hard to find somebody that doesn't, that that needs a lot of work.
Yeah, I get that. There's a lot, especially doing what I do. There's a lot of men that reach out, not forget the apps, just by watching the podcast or seeing a reel or something like that every day, usually every day, and wanting to connect, or maybe we could talk and you could listen and things like that. And I'm like, dude, man, I do not want a project at all. I'm not here to fix anybody. I'm here to receive, essentially, at this point in
Yeah.
my life, and that's how I feel. It's so funny though, on the dating apps, well, and and I guess because that's my experience, because I don't really go to bars per se or anything like that. Networking events, yes, but I would say a good, I don't know, 70 to 80% of the men are probably married, usually. That's what I encounter, right?
Uh,
So,
yes.
not good juju, not whatever. So,
Oh,
it's
that's
kind
such
of
a tough
tricky.
one, though. That is such a tough one. Like, okay, so I've had to be really honest with myself, and I've been saying, okay, well, all right, so backtrack a little. We're in 2024, but around 2022, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and I was like feeling all like I was in the feels. We had a couple glasses of wine, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so lonely. And she was like, and I told her I was done dating for potential. Like I'm done. I'm
Yes.
done dating for
Well,
potential.
and I don't even know if we were aware of it then,
I,
right?
I know. I
But
was
yeah.
so empathetic. It was like, I know you have potential. Oh, Lord help us. So she said, okay, make a list. She said, make a list of all the qualities that you want in somebody. And
Hmm.
she said, on the left side, she said, make your current situation. And then she asked, would you date yourself? And I said, no, I would not be dating myself. She said, why wouldn't you be dating yourself? And I said, well, I've got a lot of responsibilities. I'm financially strapped right now. I've got, all these other things. And, no, I probably wouldn't be dating myself. She said, okay, now look at the list on the right. She was like, that's the person that you have to become to get the person you want.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm on the
That's
road of becoming
cool.
that person, but a lot of them are married.
Okay. But, it's not like so. Uh, I think it just means that you're getting closer and closer to whatever that is, right? You're meeting those same people because you want to then hang out with those people, those couples that are happy and fulfilled and can give you what you want. So I think that's a step closer in the right direction.
Sadly, I don't think they're happily married. That's the point. Like it just seems like so many, married men are out there just pretending they're not.
um, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Kind of
But
notice that.
it's not your problem. It's not your job to take less than what you deserve either.
True.
So even, we don't want crumbs. We want everything, right? We want all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really important to remember because that does happen a lot. When you are an independent woman who is um, happy and friendly and doing the things that she wants to do, like I think it just attracts people nonetheless, right?
Hmm.
And I definitely have had conversations and been like a married man magnet, and it's something that I have left in the past, and it's not who I am, it's not what I want. And when someone is kind of giving you those messages that, you know, that, oh, I'm going to be leaving my situation or whatever. You can't take that. I'm here now and there's someone out there that will love me for who I am and give me what I need in a relationship without having to chase it or settle for crumbs, right?
Mhm. True, true. Like, does it
So,
really need to be that hard?
yeah. Well, and if that other person is really that unhappy in their marriage, then it's up to them to do something for it, about it or whatever. Either figure out what you need to do to get happy to stay in your marriage, or you need to move on. But that's up to you, and I'm not waiting around.
I found myself saying just recently, I was like, didn't know the person was married, right? And then we're at dinner and he's like, and I have to tell you, he's like, I'm my marriage is on the outs. And I was like, you're married. All right, your marriage is on the outs. And I said, well, what's the issue? And he's like, I just think that she's fed up with me. And I slapped my hand on the table and I said, well, just know that anyone you meet is also going to be fed up with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He laughed about that. He thought that was great. And I said, no, I'm serious. I'm fed up with you right now. Like,
Yeah.
and, the interesting thing is like, are they really on the outs or are they just struggling? Because I have to say, I commend people that are married past that 7-year itch.
Hmm.
I commend people that are able to build a life together, and I really think it's important to keep the marriage together no matter what. And during that time, you're never going to be the same person. You are always going to evolve, and the person you're with is going to do the same, and you may grow separately. So how do you come together? How do you realize that the two of you are having a human experience, and how can you be kind enough to each other to allow that kind of growth and room for failure?
Yeah, I think that it's hard. I think no matter how. I was married for 17 years and I'm divorced. And
And I've done it 3 times. And I know because of my mistakes, I think I can make things better through
yeah.
hindsight. That's
But,
just hard.
it's everybody's story is different and I got married really young and I had 3 kids and we were living in a pressure cooker and I didn't know who I was anymore. And not that ending the marriage was the right solution. I don't know if it was the right solution, but I know that I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life right now. And I think he's pretty darn happy. He is married and his wife is a great stepmom to my kids. I love her. I'm pretty
Not sure if you can hear me. It got, there we go. Are you back? Good.
okay. So it's kind of a weird situation, but I'm such a different person than I was then when we met, and then throughout our marriage, and then even 5 years ago, that we wouldn't mesh well at this point. He's much different than I am. And so I think that unless you're in those shoes for that long, it's hard to say. Now, I do think that people think it's easier to find an escape than address what's in front of them. And that definitely is a problem. So, but everybody has extenuating circumstances too, like with kids and raising a family and work pressure and money pressure. And those are all the things that people fight about, right? Who's watching the kids and why don't we have any money and stuff like that. And so it's tough. It's hard. It's not easy. And I did it for a long time. And then I've been on my own for quite a while. And I would do it again. I would definitely do it again. And I want to do it again. But I think that the second time around, you look at it a lot differently. You learn to appreciate people for who they are if you've done some work. Now, obviously there's people that jump from one relationship to the next and they're not really putting anything in for themselves, and that's a problem because they are going to wake up at 40 or 50 or 60 and go, "What the fuck happened? Like, who am I, and why am I so miserable, and what is happening?" So even, I would strongly encourage any woman, especially the women that follow me, that I know they're kind of like-minded in my similar spot, um, to, a lot of the people that come to me to get coached are kind of not happy in their relationship, but ultimately they're not happy with themselves. And so if you can do anything to work on yourself while you're still in a relationship, I think it's great. Sometimes it's going to work out, sometimes it's not, but you really need to do that work within and then make your decision, I would say. I mean, if possible. But so yeah. So that's like, yeah, that's how I feel about that. It's kind of crazy because I often wonder, had I done more work sooner, like where would I be? But I can't really question that at this point because life moves on, and I don't know, things are just really, really fucking good right now. It's just, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
So, um, all right. So give me, if you have one, a, a like a like a first date blunder. I don't know, or a first date like, I don't know, something hilarious. I've got a couple up my sleeve too.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know if this is considered hilarious or assault. I'm not sure.
Oh no. Okay.
I think I have a problem with distinguishing between the two at this
Oh
point. I
no.
feel so broken.
Oh no.
No, but well, let's see. It's October,
Hmm.
right? Okay. So I was talking to someone for a little bit on, Messenger, Facebook Messenger. And, it starts off with just, you know, getting to know each other, conversations, and like sharing viewpoints, and like maybe sharing some links, and that sounds fun. And, maybe we should go out to dinner. I think that'd be great. I'd meet you here. That'd be awesome. And then, you go to dinner, and it seems weird because there's like this sexual tension. I
Okay.
It just happened. And I was interested in um seeing if there was anything else that we can do after dinner,
Hmm.
or if we should just, call it a night. And I should have just said call it a night. And I excused myself to go to the bathroom, and I brought my purse with me, and my messages went off, and I received a very interesting unsolicited dick pic, which looked like it was underneath the table.
Okay. Okay.
that I was just that I was just sitting at. So I I left, and I just kind of avoided the whole idea of walking around the person. So I went around the wall and then like waited a minute, and I couldn't get out any other way. So when I finally did get outside, I left. The person was messaging me on Facebook and like texting me, and I was just like, I sent him his picture back, and I said to him, I just think you left this under the table.
That's funny. So,
So friends, yes, we're friends, but I don't think I'll be putting myself in that situation again.
so that's really funny. Okay, so I've had this conversation with not even just guys on apps or whatever, but some friends of mine in the past or whatever, and they're like, "All right, what do you think about the dick pic? Like, what's does that turn you on or whatever?" And I'm like, I feel like it's a cat bringing you a dead mouse. They're like, "See what I've got for you." But it doesn't, I think the idea of like I turn you on is nice, but an unsolicited dick pic is like one of the most horrible. I don't even know because it's
He was still sitting at the table. He was still sitting there waiting for me. It was weird.
that is weird. That is weird.
I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to go back to the table. Like, what if it starts poking me? It's weird. I can't do this.
That's really funny. So, like, let me ask
Yeah.
you, all right, so let me ask you another one. So I, being that, okay, so we're both 42. And so, definitely in the cougar zone, I would say, and definitely on the dating
Oh,
apps, no
good. I'm glad
matter,
you're bringing
yeah,
this conversation
no
up.
matter where I am or what preferences I have or anything, there's always so the younger crowd, right? And
Yeah.
it's so funny. And I honestly am attracted to older men, quite honestly, because there's something secure about that, or whatever. But the younger guys, man, they are just so honored to be present, especially in the bedroom, and after some time, it's just so different. And I don't know if you can speak to that or not, but like the different, generations or so. Like I think that men our age, um, if they're divorced, obviously they're not necessarily looking for a commitment. That's why I think like it's like two ends of the spectrum. And I can't
Yeah.
say that the younger ones are looking for a commitment either, but they're just grateful. I hate to say that, but I've been in um, a situation fairly recently, much younger than me, way too young, and they're so like enthusiastic about everything. I'll help you with that. I'll help you with that. I wouldn't mind. I'll come back. Do you want me like, one offered to sleep in the driveway just to make sure that I was safe, for the evening or whatever. And it's just so funny. But I got married young, so I didn't experience all of this, in my early 20s, which is funny and ironic. I don't know. What's your experience?
Whoa. Sleep in the driveway. All right. That would have been me. I was called a stage 5 clinger.
Okay.
So yeah, sleeping in the driveway. I don't know
I
about
didn't
that
let
one.
him, but he was like, I would, and we weren't even
No.
sleeping together at the time. He kept coming around, and he was just like, well, I worry about you. I'll sleep in the driveway just so make sure I feel you're bad. I feel bad. You're like in this house all by yourself or whatever. And
That's what
then
I had the tree guy.
that's right. We talked about that.
Okay, back.
Yeah, that was weird. So,
So
yeah.
I just so you had mentioned, yes, okay. So I feel so bad that you're in that house all by yourself. Starts off like a very weird romance
Yes.
novel by Anne Rice, and then it gets great. I would say that's what the tree guy said when I wanted to have some tree work done. Weird. Younger men is real.
hmm
Yeah, the cougar energy is
I don't
definitely
even
real.
understand it. There's something I don't even understand it. And there's been a few, and I'm like, wouldn't you rather be hanging out with somebody your own age? And they're like, no. They're like,
No,
there's,
because you have the
I
experience
guess.
and you know how to cook and and yeah, and younger men find that to be very sexy. Another age group that finds 40-year-olds sexy are 60 year
Right.
olds.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
60-year-olds find 40-year-olds very sexy. Kind of makes me mad because 40-year-olds find 20-year-olds very sexy.
I
So
don't know if I get so mad. It's just so like men in their 40s that are looking, I feel like they're just so fucking angry. Everybody's like angry and mad. And I think it's, men are just so different. But when, I've got the early 20s guy and he's been here for a while and it's midnight and he's like, what are we going to do now? Do you want to watch a movie? And I'm like, no, honey, you need to go home now. We're done now. We're good. But the 40-year-old, he's not going to do that. He's gonna be like, he's not going to stay that long. I don't know. It's just interesting. And yeah, I feel like I just
yeah, I
dug
find dating.
myself in a
I find
hole right
dating
there.
very Yeah, I find dating to be a very difficult task, and it's not because it's not because it's hard to connect. It's okay. It's hard because I think I'm confusing the two. I'm confusing hooking up with
Yeah,
dating.
those are two
And
very, very different things.
it's so different. And dating takes a lot of transparency because you're trying to find that person who will complement whatever it is that you're
Hmm.
wanting. And hooking up is so easy to do. So the problem is that I find way too many people who are willing to hook up than I do find people who are willing to commit, take responsibility, ownership, or be a part of
Right.
something.
Well, and I think there's like kind of room for both. Like you're in this dating world, right? So
Yeah. We
sometimes,
should definitely talk about the ones who want to hook
yeah,
up. That's a good one.
sometimes,
That's a funny
but
story.
like, so I I like to get to know a person. And even if it's not going anywhere, I still like want to feel secure, essentially. So if it's like a repetitive thing, if it's like a one time, I mean, I don't know, like there's all sorts of situations, but it's interesting that you say that too, because we'll date for a while, right? You're looking for a relationship, you're dating with intention that you want to, eventually find someone, to make a commitment with. Not that it's, Joe right from the start or whatever, but, that's you dating with intention. And a hookup is way different, right? So, and sometimes you need to take a break from the dating and just have a little fun for a little bit. And that's all well and good. And that's fine. And as long as people are upfront about it, I think that's like the big thing too. Because if I'm dating with intention and I'm saying I'm looking for my best friend, don't tell me all the things I need to hear just because you want to hook up at some point and then that's it. You know what I mean? Just be honest about it
Mm-hmm.
because half of the female audience are looking for the same thing anyway. So find the ones that are looking for the same thing that you're looking for. Stop wasting the time of the people that are trying to find a relationship. That's not really fair. Just be honest. And I think part of that has to do with um, they think that they're ready for a relationship, but maybe they're not really ready for a relationship. They may think that, but they're not. And vice versa. I mean, we have the same thing too. I have commitment issues. I definitely do. And I kind of feel like I've done so much digging that now I sort of understand why I do. And so it's coming to terms with that. And I don't want to lose myself again. So it's easier to keep a wall up, and, be friendly or whatever, but not commit to anything. I'd really like to address that with myself. But if you, okay, so how are you meeting people right now? If you're looking for a hookup, like where are you meeting someone?
Um, is it bad to say that I came to terms with the idea that I am too old to make a family and I'm too old to just waste 6 more years? And then I'm just really trying to have fun right now. Is that
No, I
bad?
think we dip in and out of that, but I don't like the fact that you're saying you're too old to find what you do, what it is that you're looking for, because that's like the complete opposite of everything that I stand for. Um,
I say that because of the time, energy, and commitment it takes to do the two things that I said I was too old to do. It's that I'm not going to play this game with myself and put myself in a position where I could be in love and love is blind and then you just kind of fall down that hill again. So what I'm doing is a little different. It's a little
mhm.
different. I actually was seeing someone about 6 years ago. And it was brief, it was probably almost a year.
Okay,
But during that time, he would say things that would make me so mad,
right,
and I didn't get it. He would say, everything's a transaction. Everything's a transaction. Every relationship is transaction. And he made it just sound like transaction to me felt like such a dirty word because I was like, no, I'm like unconditional. Like I love you. I really genuinely care about you. I want you to be happy. I want to support you. How come I'm not getting the same from
right,
you?
right.
Like, and he would act like I had nothing to give. What's a girlfriend? He could afford a
It sounds
maid.
like you were with
What's a girl like?
an
It was very
asshole.
strange.
If you-
Well, maybe, but pondering what he said and realizing that if I don't know what I have to offer someone, and someone doesn't know what they have to offer me, then what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing?
So what do
Are
you
we
do
just
with
are
that
we just going to the
information?
movies? Are we just going to the movies? Are we just hooking up? Are we just like, are we spending our lives together? Are we making plans? How can we do that? Well, think about it. Like, I realized that a lot of relationships that I was in, the original relationships that I was in, were all based out of necessity. We were young, we were stupid, it was based out of necessity. You have this relationship, and maybe it'd be fun if we move in. Then things happen, and next thing you know, you are together, you are now together, and you're creating a family, and you're trying to take it without realizing that you didn't do all the talks first. How would you raise kids? How would you discipline kids? What was your childhood like? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's very strange. And so dating with intention, like you said before, I think is a valuable takeaway, because it's important to know what you want and the direction that you're going to go in, and then finding someone that complements
Right.
that, realizing how you could support each other in the process.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, oh, there are so many things. There are so many things.
So
There's
it's like what so it's like what kind of so now it's like, what kind of relationship am I
well,
looking
here's
for? Obviously the guy has to be able to support himself, and obviously I'm going to have to financially be able to support
right.
myself, right? And we're going to have to learn that we're two different people having an experience together. So it's hard to find somebody who's capable of taking care of themselves and isn't wrapped up in themselves.
That's an interesting thing. Yes, definitely. I think men our age that are single are truly focused on themselves. There's a lot of conversations that I've had that, they're pursuing me. I didn't even reach out or anything like that. Um, that literally just talk about themselves the entire time. Don't ask you a question. And, obviously that's a key indicator of their interest, right?
That's a red
Yeah,
flag, of
yeah. And I'm
course.
like, okay. And I've had conversations recently that it kind of goes the same way. But I truly believe that once you increase your vibration, you attract a different crowd. So if a partner is what Jessica really wants, then Jessica should probably look inward and believe that she deserves that, not that it's like, something that you're too old for, or if it's too much. Maybe it's not right now, maybe it's in 10 years, and then cool. Like, who knows?
Good point.
Yeah. I have, I
Um,
have,
Another.
yeah, like I will not take no for an answer. That's not going to happen. And you deserve that. You deserve to have somebody that you um, have a partnership with and support and friendship and all of the good things. So once you increase your vibration, I think you'll attract better people. And I think that's kind of like all of a sudden, because I spent a lot of years, I would say, like in isolation as far as like, being divorced, and I keep calling it
Yeah.
that. But my everything about me has changed even in the last like 6 months. And so I'm all of a sudden meeting more people. So it's kind of cool, like just out and about in business and through, new friends and friends that I've reconnected with. And I believe the same thing is true for you too.
I agree with that. I do. I agree with that. And you can't get anywhere without meeting people. And it's really important to meet people with similar interests. You're only
Hmm.
going to find them in the spaces where you're similarly interested.
Yes.
And it's got to be more than a bar. And I do believe it has to be a little bit more than church too.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like the thing is that it does have to be some like I think it will be something like where you kind of least expect it and you're just doing
Yeah.
your thing. And I'm finally kind of just doing my thing. And so that feels really good. So we'll see in a few months again, like when we chat and see like what's what, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
We
So
should set some
I think
intentions and then check in.
yes. So what is your intention?
Okay. My intention. Let's see. Well, if it's, let's see, dating intention. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, dating intention. I kind of think I'm on the realm of having fun, not hooking up per se, but more so just using my imagination and being about myself right now.
Okay, cool.
Does that does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Um, I think
Yeah.
being in the driver's seat is very empowering. And it's kind of cool to have, it's kind of cool to have um, a few different options that you can reach out to when you need it, basically, because
Yes,
we're in control right now at this point. And guys do it all the time. So there shouldn't be
they
a
do.
big, to do about, doing that as a female. But, we've got busy lives and I need to kind of focus on like what I'm doing and my greater purpose and finding myself in all of that. So if I have a few people that I can call on when I need to, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, I started seeing someone just a few months ago. Sadly, another person just going through a divorce,
hmm
going through a hard time. And I like him. I really do. I like him a lot. I love spending time with him. And I've mentioned many times that when I'm around you, I feel so soft.
hmm
And, like I feel so soft when I'm around you. Like I feel like I could melt. I feel like you make decisions. You make them and you keep me in mind when you do it. Oh God, how great's
this
that,
sounds interesting.
Like why the hell are you getting a divorce? I don't get it. So so we actually had this talk because I noticed that he was getting a little weird with me because you get you get emotionally attached to
Right,
people,
right.
so I just wanted to let him know that I really think you're becoming my new best friend. I think you're becoming my best friend. I know you call me when you need me. I know I can text you when I need you. I know that we make each other laugh. I know that we like to, spend time together and watch movies. I know that we love playing tennis. Like what? He just got me into tennis. Like,
That's
oh, I love
cool.
it. I can't find not a one person who really wants to play it with me, darn it. So I guess he's my best friend. And, you know, um, so he's got this weird thing, where he has this idea of how he wants like a homemaker. That's all he wanted was a homemaker. And it didn't work out that way. And I said to him, well, did you have that conversation, before you guys like had kids and like got married? Like did you talk to her about that? And he didn't, and they didn't. And it just kind of happened as
hmm
children came along, and she was miserable, and nanny or not, she just was miserable, and two nannies or not, just miserable. And I was like, okay, well, all right, well, what if we do this, and so we're not physical yet,
Okay.
right? But I said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we role play? Because I've always wanted to be a homemaker.
Okay.
So for 24 hours, why don't we role play?
What did he
And
say?
I will have your dinner ready. Let's talk about what your expectations are of a homemaker. What would make you happy, and he is down for it. I think it scares him though. I think it
Interesting.
scares him.
Okay.
I'm more now interested in the experience rather than the process.
Yeah.
And I think the experience is a part of the process. It's just that how many of us are actually experiencing the process?
Right. Right. Yeah, you're
Just
right.
diving into it, forgetting that there's all these nuances. So,
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll have to check back for an update.
yeah,
Yes.
this is gonna be interesting. I don't
Yeah.
know how much I
I
can
can't wait to
share.
hear about it. So, um, thank you, Jessica, so much for chatting with me today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Please do me a favor, wherever you're watching or listening, hit subscribe and share it with a friend if you're loving what you're listening to. Check out the blog at myinnerstruggle.com and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And Check out the Self Love Club where we can grow together. I am thinking of you and sending you love, and I will see you soon.